Welcome to the Finance Committee. First order of business is to approve last month's committee meeting minutes. Motion made by Supervisor Frazier, seconded by Supervisor Simpson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Under action agenda, item 1, request for transfer of funds as attached for committee approval. Okay, any questions on these? Hearing none, motion to get this on the table made by Supervisor Simpson, second by Supervisor Frazier. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 2, County Treasurer Michael. This was approved in personnel, but now we need to transfer the funds in the amount of $1,989 from the contingent account to cover the cost of the reclassification. Motion made by Supervisor Merlino, seconded by Supervisor Stroh. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Michael, one more item. In regards to the personnel meeting, you mentioned that you needed monies to be set aside for, what was it called?
Determination.
Oh, we have the money.
Oh, we have the money.
Oh, yeah, that's part of the reserve fund. Okay, we don't need to find...
Oh, so we don't have to do any...
No.
Oh, okay.
I just needed authorization to write the check.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on. Item 3, referrals from the County Facilities Committee. Under Airport, we need to authorize the County Treasurer's Office to reimburse Rich Air in the amount of $70.72 for lost revenue for discounted fuel sales not required by the contract. A whole whopping $70. Motion made by Supervisor Molino, seconded by Supervisor Frazier. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 4, referrals from the Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee. Under Sheriff, we need to amend the county budget in the amount of $1,556.70 to reflect the receipt of insurance recovery funds from 2 motor vehicle accidents. Motion made by Supervisor Simpson, seconded by Supervisor McDevitt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. B, request to authorize the County Treasurer's Office to establish account number TE923.06, the category net assets, restricted for the sole purpose of accepting donations for the Stop BWI initiative. Motion made by Supervisor Sieber, seconded by Supervisor Bramer.
Oh, I'm not on this
She's
committee.
not on the committee.
Oh, I saw
I
your
would
hand.
like to, sorry.
Supervisor Beatty, then. Discussion, yes.
Thank you,
Supervisor
Mr.
Sieber.
Chairman. I thought this account, we were also going to allow expenses come out of it as well. So not just to accept donations, but also to then expend, and does it need to be worded differently? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Supervisor Bramer.
Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to ask again the committee, the Finance Committee, for funding from the county to help with the Remember Charlotte initiative that goes towards the Stop BWI program that we're kind of, been working on through the summer. I know that the posters are really emotional and they are powerful. Some people have been a little bit turned off by them. But I think for the most part, they have been getting a good response. I know just this week, there was the little letter to the editor of the Post-Star, that might have been Saturday, saying that you could go to the Lake George Regional Chamber of Commerce for more, and they contacted me and said they're out and they would like more. And then Pam Vogel contacted me this week to get more for the DMV office. So I think it's been a positive. And Jesse Jackson also told me that he's heard that people are calling 911 to report to report reckless behavior, which is what we wanted, so that our patrols can know about it, because it's really hard for them sometimes to see and determine whether or not someone is boating under the influence.
So are you looking
So
for
I'm looking,
$1,000?
we've gone around looking for money in the county. We tried Traffic Safety Board, we tried other places, and I'd like $1,000 from the contingency fund.
So we'll move that into the net assets, the new account that we just established.
Yes, please.
Okay, committee pleasure? Question, Supervisor McDevitt, are you making the motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, Supervisor McDevitt, made the motion, seconded by Supervisor Seaver. Any other discussion on this? Yes.
Just a quick question relative to the taste of the brochure. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the taste should be determined by the relatives, the parents, the grandparents, which they indeed have done. Okay, so we're all very subjective when it comes to work of art, but at the end of the day, the family makes that decision, and they have, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. They're very happy that Charlotte is being honored in this way, and that's a photo they gave us to be part of this program, and it makes them happy to see her doing something that she loved doing on the lake from their boathouse.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, Supervisor McDevitt. Very, very good point. I have seen it actually on the news as well, on
Yeah,
commercials,
it's-
yeah. Supervisor Seaver?
Just a point of clarification, then any authorization for expenses to be paid would go through the Criminal Justice Committee. It's my understanding through the Sheriff's Office, since this is a line item in their budget. And I also understand that a lot of the efforts in terms of raising this money, both county and private, is to help with the media campaign. We've been fortunate to have some things donated, but also there's an expense by Look TV
Right.
in to get that out of the PSA as well. So I think it's a combined public-private partnership.
Yeah.
And, but I just want to make sure expenses go through criminal justice through the sheriff.
I thought that they would be approved by the sheriff, but
Yeah.
if it needs to come to the committee too, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
they're just, I don't know.
Okay, so we do any more discussion?
I have just one other thing
Yes,
to offer
Supervisor.
on that. If anybody gets Adirondack Life, there's an excellent article in this month's edition about the whole BWI stuff. And the picture that Claudia is talking about is in the magazine too, of the young lady diving off the dock. So, very good article. So, I would suggest get Adirondack Life to read it.
Okay, we do have a motion, and we do have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Before I read item C, I want to turn this over to our county attorney, as the language needs to be changed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The item on your agenda is a little bit misleading. What happened was, at the committee level, the value of the vehicle was placed at $1,000. We received it for zero. It was an asset forfeiture vehicle. The value estimated by the Sheriff's Office is $1,000. At this point, we are not certain how we can convey or allow the use of the van by SPCA. The Sheriff would like to do that in furtherance of their contract obligations to the county. We are still trying to iron out the details with the assistance of the State Comptroller's Office. So I think what the Sheriff would like is authority to convey or to allow use of the van by the SPCA in furtherance of that contract as allowed by law and programmatically for the Sheriff.
Does anyone have any objections to that? Or is,
I'll make that as a motion.
okay, motion made by Supervisor Garrity, second by Supervisor McDevitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Brian.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chair,
Go ahead.
my vote should go down as a recusal.
Okay. Did you guys get that? Thank you. Sorry about that. Item 5, referral from the Health, Human, and Social Services Committee. Health Services, item A, request to amend the county budget in the amount of $2,707 to reflect the receipt of COLA, or the cost of living adjustments, and we have 3 of them here. For the disease program, and then we have $18.95 for the lead program, and $14.42 for the rabies program. Motion made by Supervisor Frazier, seconded by Supervisor Simpson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. B, request to amend the county budget in the amount of $622 to adjust the family health program to reflect the receipt of additional funds provided by the Children with Special Health Care Needs grant.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Supervisor Garrity, seconded by Supervisor Frazier. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Item 6, referral from the Public Works Committee. Under Parks, Recreation, Railroad, request to amend the county budget the amount of $1,800 to reflect the receipt of funds donated by the Lewis Trust. Motion made by Supervisor Stroud, second by Supervisor Simpson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. DPW? request to amend the county budget in the amount of $2,257.98 to reflect the receipt of insurance recovery funds for damage to guardrails along Haviland Road, which occurred on August 5th, 2016. Motion made by Supervisor Molino, seconded by Supervisor Stroud. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 7, County Administrator. Journal report transfers approved by County Administrator. Any changes or anything there?
No, most of them were interdepartment transfers,
Okay.
all vetted by committee.
Okay. Request authorized contract with P&P and NP Computer Services in the amount not to exceed $9,000 for annual software support and historical license agreement to access the Westmount billing records for a term commencing October 1st, 2016 and terminating December 31st, 2018.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Supervisor Garrity, seconded by Supervisor Marlino. This is just to
In order to get the program so we can go in and continue to look at old charges for the Westmount Health
Okay.
Facility.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And C, request to appropriate.
I'll move C too.
Okay, motion made by Supervisors Garrity, seconded by Supervisor Frazier. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Finance Committee action is required on the following items approved by the Personnel and Higher Education Committee. And those items are 2A through F, 3A and B, and 5. Motion made by Supervisor Sieber, seconded by Supervisor Dickinson. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Pending items, Terry has been pretty darn busy during the summer, so I'm going to try to get him here for next month. And item 2, we were all here for that meeting. This is something that we probably could take off pending and just approach it when the end of the year comes, if that's okay with the committee.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we need that.
Okay. Anything else before? Yes, Supervisor Simpson.
At the Public Safety Committee, we had talked about whether DPW could dig the trench, de-water the trench for the water line to the fire. Superintendent Henderson, he said he was going to report it to...
Okay,
So-
Jeff? Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I was asked to review this. I did have staff look into it, and I don't believe there's any savings in us doing that portion of the work, in part because it's really integral to the water line work, and anytime we're mixing forces, whether they be two contractors that have to coordinate together or municipal forces and contracted services that have to work together, I think our cost is going to go up if we rebid this, and I think that coordination would be difficult and probably prolong the project to the point where it would be less efficient and probably cost us more in the end. So I would recommend moving forward. I have discussed this with Supervisor Simpson, and I talked to Brian before about it as well. We feel the current bid was done well, and we got a good price on it. The contract that we're awarding is around $92,000, but that includes some contingencies. So we think if things go well, we'll actually finish that under that cost, and Brian has full funding for the project. So that's what I would recommend.
Okay. Are we taking this back to DPW, or are you looking for...
No, I think, did we move?
You approved it at DPW.
We had approved it at the committee.
Oh, you did? Okay.
This was just a secondary.
Okay. Brian?
I just wanted to advise the committee, half of this money is going to come from Washington County's project funds as well. I met with their public safety committee yesterday, and their treasurer and county administrator approved, just send us a bill. Okay, I can work with that. So we do have their concurrence in the project, so we are actually ultimately be taking 45,000 something out of our project fund. Totally, the cost is 91,000 and something. We'll pay that as the fiduciary, but we will get reimbursed 45,000 from Washington.
Okay. Any questions for Jeff? Thank you, Jeff. Okay, before we adjourn, we have one more item that is not on the agenda. We need a resolution to approve the health insurance option that was discussed in... Say what?
Sarah had that in there as 2A for personnel. She already...
Oh, it wasn't, oh, okay, perfect, yeah. I'm sorry about that. Motion to adjourn. Motion made by Supervisor Simpson, seconded by Supervisor Frazier. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Have a great day.
I'm not...
Hey.